I just did something today that I haven't done in a very long time, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. I actually read. I always read, but I read a lot more today because I am excited to share the tea about Universal and Disney. And the tea is provided by the Themed Entertainment Association. Get it? Tea? Tea is serving the tea about global attendance with major theme parks, specifically in Orlando with Universal and Walt Disney World in the 2024 Global Attractions Attendance Report. So I was reading a lot of different articles and just a lot of different takes about this report. All the articles I'm referencing in this video are down below if you want to take a look for yourself. Disney Tours blog says the Global Attractions Attendance Report is considered the gold standard within the theme park industry, and T is highly credible. While I cannot speak to Universal's view on T, I can confirm with complete certainty that the Walt Disney Company views the Global Attractions Attendance Report as a credible and accurate source. This article is low-key a big deal for theme park enthusiasts because Universal and Walt Disney World do not share their attendance numbers publicly. In the past, people have been a little skeptical when it comes to Disney and Universal. If they don't share their information, they can fudge the numbers, but that would be pretty bad for them because if they say attendance was up during these months, but then the revenue was down, that would create an inconsistency, and that would look bad for all the people who invest into these parks and their sales and their business meetings and their sales reports. It wouldn't be good. So Disney and Universal have a pretty high incentive to not lie about theme park attendance levels. However, you might be wondering, how does T get the information? They say our researchers derived the figures used to create the T Global Experience Index through a variety of sources, including statistics furnished directly by the operators, historical numbers, financial reports, local tourism organizations, national and international attraction associations, mobile location analytics, and professional estimates where necessary. So these guys are the big deal. I mean, you're not going to get a more accurate report than these people, apparently. Now, again, I feel like some people who might like Universal more might not like to agree with these numbers, but it's all about the eye of the beholder. They perceive what they want to perceive at the end of the day. There is so much more that goes into the Global Attractions Attendance Reports. I basically gave you the Spark Note version. So with that being said, let's look at the top 25 amusement theme parks worldwide. Starting at number 1, you have Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World with a 0.7 change from 2023 to 2024. In 2023, it was 17,720. This is attendance in the thousands. And then now it's 17,836. So that's an increase, which is cool. Number 2, Disneyland Park at Disneyland Resort makes sense. 0.5% change, 17,337. And then Universal Studios Japan coming in at number 3, which is very interesting. No change at all, really. It's about the same. Number 4, Tokyo Disneyland. I mean, that is a valid. Tokyo Disneyland is my favorite theme park. We have a 2.6% change from 14,724 to 15,104. And I'm not going to go into all of these numbers for the rest of them. Shanghai Disneyland, number 5. Chimelong Ocean Kingdom in China. Interesting. 0.9% change. I've never been there. I can definitely go there though now. Tokyo Disney Sea. Epcot at Walt Disney World, number 8. Disney's Hollywood Studios, number 9. Disneyland Park at Disneyland Paris. And I do want to point out that they actually had a negative change. So a negative 1.8% change from 10,400 attendance to only 10,214. Number 12, Universal Studios Beijing. And then 13, Universal Studios Florida. 14, Universal Islands of Adventure. And then the weakest theme park out of the top 15 is my homie Animal Kingdom. I mean, I get it, but I love Animal Kingdom. But this is still great. I mean, being in the top 25 amusement theme parks worldwide is nuts. Let's continue with the last couple. Universal Studios Hollywood, number 16. Hong Kong Disneyland, 17. Europa Park, which I do want to go to one day, 18. Eiffelting in the Netherlands, 19. And then we have a tie for number 20 with Disneyland Paris and Everland in South Korea. 22, China Dinosaurs Park. Sounds sick. 23, Lotto World Adventure, South Korea. 24, Shanghai Ocean Park, Shanghai. And then number 25 at Chimelong Spaceship. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Overall, with the top 25 theme parks, the attendance has gone up by 2.4%. I'm curious to see what the change is going to be from 2024 to 2025. Now let's get into the little details a little bit more, because that's a lot of numbers, and it took me a while to actually understand what this all meant, and honestly, I just read more, and these guys did the hard part about kind of explaining what this all means. He made an analysis of all this data. The global attractions landscape saw a return to stable growth in 2024, as travel and tourism patterns leveled out to roughly pre-pandemic numbers. Pandemic. The combined attendance of the top 25 theme parks globally grew 2.4% in 2024 to almost 246 million. In general, the leading parks in the mature markets of the US, Japan, and Western Europe saw flat to modest changes in attendance, while the leading internationally branded parks in China saw notable continued growth and registered record years. The world's top water parks collectively saw less than a 1% increase in attendance, though individually results varied widely by region, largely impacted by local market conditions such as weather and tourism. On the museum front, China continued its rapid rise as a dominant force on the global charts. I think this information is so cool. As someone who's literally spent the last 6 years of his life in theme parks, I love to learn more about it. Like, I've been to China, I've been to Japan. So it's very interesting to see that China is starting to grow in the theme park and tourist industry. I find this article so interesting because it doesn't just talk about the data, it kind of goes into an analysis of said data. So with Japan, they've been smashing through annual inbound travel numbers. So they're always breaking records. So many people are coming to Japan. There are new headlines like this every single month due to Japan continuing to break its monthly records, all of which were just set last year. The only outlier that this article sees is Universal Studios Japan, the number 3 theme park in the world. Listen, Universal Studios Japan is just cooking. End of the day. They are at max capacity, but they're staying at max capacity. Now, the flip side of all of this is that the rest of the world theme parks are mostly underperforming because they reopened and then they recovered earlier, and now they're seeing waves of events travel receding. After the pandemic, everyone went out and went crazy and was traveling so much. So now, outside of the top 25 global theme parks, people are going less to theme parks because they're like, well, we just went. And we actually have to focus on saving money again. And yeah, there's no more revenge traveling. It's starting to dwindle down. This article and this whole analysis of theme parks is always comparing to the attendance before the pandemic. The golden year was 2019 before the actual pandemic happened. That's when Disney had its highest attendance ever. And it seems like we're slowly getting back to that, but not just yet. Maybe after the new theme parks open, we'll have a better chance of hitting those records again. Anyways, let's focus in on just America. Here's the top 20. Magic Kingdom theme park, number 1, 17,836,000 guests this year. Then we have Disneyland, number 2. Epcot, number 3. Hollywood Studios, 4. California Adventure, 5. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but 3 out of the 4 parks in Walt Disney World beat out Universal and Islands of Adventure in 2024. So technically, Disney's still the winner. But again, remember, this is before Epic Universe opened up. So I'm curious to see what the numbers are for this year. They're going to be very interesting. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about how all the parks are dead, including Disney. But that's a different topic for a different day. Universal Orlando, 6. Islands of Adventure, 7. Animal Kingdom coming in low again, number 8. And then we have Universal Studios Hollywood at 9. That's crazy that Animal Kingdom still beat out Hollywood. Then we have Knott's Berry Farm, never been yet, number 10. SeaWorld Orlando, 11. SeaWorld San Diego, 12. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Okay, I love Busch Gardens. That's actually pretty awesome that they made it in the top 20. And this is all in America. Then we have Cedar Point, 14. Kings Island, never been, 15. Six Flags Magic Mountain, 16. Never been there. Canada's Wonderland. I want to go back. Hey, shout out my home, Canada. They made it in the top 20. That's actually really impressive. What is Canada's right now? They had a 1% increase, so they were at 3.2 million, and now they're at 3.2,640,000. Sick. Dollywood, number 18. I want to go to Dollywood. Six Flags Great America. Haven't been to that one. And then, wow, Hershey Park, number 20. I mean, all of these are reputable theme parks. That's really cool that they made it. They did not have any change, so they stayed at about 3 million. So overall, with the top 20 theme parks in America, we saw a negative 0.3% change. So from 144,443,000 to 144 million and like one. I mean, up negative 0.3% isn't bad. I mean, people are still going, obviously. If that was like a 1%, then we'd be in trouble. Then we'd be cooked. But, I mean, I think those numbers are okay. But that's me being an optimist. Yeah, Magic Kingdom remains top dog of theme parks. Not just number one at Walt Disney World, but in the entire freaking world. It's the biggest, it's the best, Magic Kingdom. However, it's still down as compared to 2019, when the park reached a staggering 20.96 million guests. That remains a high watermark for attendance, and it probably won't be reached again until Cars Land opens in 2029. That'd be really cool. That's crazy to think. Like, these two expansions, Cars Land, and I mean, the Villains Land hasn't been like fully announced yet, but like, those two additions really might surge the attendance at Magic Kingdom. That's crazy. The article continues. At the other end of the spectrum, Animal Kingdom continues to underperform as the number 4 park at Walt Disney World with 8.8 million guests. Epcot is once again in the number 2 spot of Walt Disney World parks, having passed Disney's Hollywood Studios in 2023, when it had a sizable 19.8% attendance increase to be the number 1 growing domestic Disney park. That is once again the case for 2024, albeit with only a 1.3% growth. Every other domestic Disney park saw gains of less than 1%. It's interesting that Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios came closest to having the same attendance level as they did in 2019. Because, I mean, come on. Those are my two favorite parks. Universal Orlando's attendance was rough in 2024. Everyone expected that because Epic was coming in 2025. Nevertheless, Universal's North American parks all lost attendance, with Universal Studios Florida dropping more than 2.5%, Islands of Adventure down 5.5%, and Universal Studios Hollywood declining nearly 10%. Obviously, I feel like Disney would want to make this report like credible because it says a lot of good stuff about Disney. Doesn't say that much good stuff about Universal. I'm curious to see how Universal's attendance will change this year, like what's going on right now. Not just Epic Universe, like, are more people going to Universal because of Epic, or people just going directly to Epic and then calling it a day? Only time will tell. But with that being said, Disney did have a pretty global dominance in this report. Disney's portfolio of parks showcased remarkable strength across the globe, capturing the vast majority of the top attendance spots. Global parks. Disney claims 8 of the top 10 most visited theme parks worldwide. In North America, the company secured the top 5 most visited theme parks in North America. Magic Kingdom, Disneyland are the most visited theme parks worldwide and in North America. Asia Pacific's Shanghai Disneyland has a record year and remains the number 1 park in China, ranking number 5 worldwide. Hong Kong Disneyland also set a new attendance record. EMEA, Disneyland Park at Disneyland Paris, remains the number 1 most visited theme park in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Water parks. Typhoon Lagoon at Walt Disney World remains the number 1 water park in North America. I did not see any data about water parks though. The US continues to drive the North American market, with Florida maintaining its status as the nation's theme park hub, logging 76.4 million visitors across 8 parks. 76 million people coming to Orlando for theme parks. Why didn't I make a theme park when I was 2 years old? What am I doing with my life? So to wrap up this article, this report, I like what this guy said on Disney Tourist blog. In short, success for theme parks is pretty simple. If you build it, they will come. And that's facts. Anytime there's something new, people will come through. You'll get a surge in attendance. It is really cool information to see. I definitely recommend you go read all of the articles and kind of look into the details because it's fun. Disney beat Universal in 2024.